Welcome, dear listeners, to our show, where we delve into the fascinating realms of ancient history. Today, we embark on a journey to explore the captivating world of the Assyrians, a civilization that once flourished in the fertile plains of Mesopotamia. As we begin our tale, let us transport ourselves to the sun-baked lands between the Tigris and Euphrates rivers, where the very cradle of civilization lies. Our story starts in the distant past, around 2500 BCE, when the earliest precursors of the Assyrian Empire began to emerge. It was an era marked by the rise of city-states, each vying for power and influence in a region teeming with life and commerce. The city of Ashur, nestled on the banks of the Tigris River, would eventually become the epicenter of Assyrian power, its name synonymous with the empire that would one day stretch from the Mediterranean to the Persian Gulf. As we navigate the early history of the Assyrians, we find ourselves in the midst of a complex tapestry woven from the threads of various cultures and empires. The Akkadian Empire, which flourished around 2300 BCE, played a significant role in shaping the destiny of the Assyrian people. Under the rule of mighty kings like Sargon the Great, the Akkadians laid the groundwork for the administrative and military structures that would later become hallmarks of Assyrian greatness. One of the most intriguing figures from this period is King Tudia, who ruled Ashur around 2300 BCE. Though his reign is shrouded in mystery, it is believed that he established trade relationships with neighboring cities, paving the way for the economic prosperity that would fuel Assyria's future expansion. The ancient city of Nineveh, with its majestic walls and temples, was also beginning to take shape during this era, its strategic location making it an ideal hub for commerce and cultural exchange. As we explore the earliest history of the Assyrians, we find a people deeply rooted in their Mesopotamian heritage, yet already exhibiting the characteristics that would define their empire: a keen sense of diplomacy, a talent for warfare, and an unyielding ambition to leave their mark upon the world. The stage is now set for the ascent of the Assyrian Empire, a period marked by conquest, innovation, and unparalleled achievements. And so, dear listeners, we shall proceed to the next chapter in our narrative, where the Assyrians will rise to unprecedented heights, forging an empire that would be remembered for eternity. Join me as we venture into the heart of Assyria's most glorious era, a time of mighty kings, monumental architecture, and conquests that would reshape the ancient world. Welcome back to our journey through the realms of ancient history, dear listeners. As we leave the earliest precursors of the Assyrian Empire behind, we find ourselves standing at the threshold of an era that would be etched in the annals of time as the most resplendent period of Assyrian dominance. This was an age when the Assyrians not only solidified their position as a major power, but expanded their territories, leaving an indelible mark on the ancient world. We now find ourselves in the midst of the 8th and 7th centuries BCE, a time when the Assyrian Empire reached its zenith under the rule of some of the most formidable kings in history. One such figure was King Tiglath-Pileser III, who ascended to the throne around 745 BCE and implemented reforms that would transform the Assyrian military into a well-oiled machine, capable of conquering vast territories with unprecedented efficiency. The city of Nineveh, once a humble outpost, flourished during this period, becoming the capital of the empire under King Sennacherib in 704 BCE. Its walls, adorned with intricate carvings depicting scenes of conquest and daily life, stood as a testament to Assyrian ingenuity and artistry. The Hanging Gardens, one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world, though often associated with Babylon, are also believed by some to have been constructed in Nineveh during this era, showcasing the engineering prowess of the Assyrians. As we wander through the bustling streets of Nineveh, we come across the magnificent temple of Nabu, dedicated to the god of wisdom and writing. This edifice not only served as a center of worship, but also as a repository of knowledge, housing thousands of clay tablets that chronicled everything from business transactions to epic poems like the Epic of Gilgamesh. The Assyrians' mastery of siege warfare was another hallmark of their military prowess during this era. The invention and effective use of advanced siege engines, such as battering rams and catapults, allowed them to breach even the most fortified city walls. King Sennacherib's campaign against Jerusalem in 701 BCE is a notable example, where his armies laid siege to the city, but ultimately spared it, imposing instead a heavy tribute on its ruler, Hezekiah. In the words of the Assyrian king Ashurbanipal, who ruled from 668 to 627 BCE, "I am Ashurbanipal, the king of the universe, the king of Assyria." This statement encapsulates the grandeur and ambition that defined the Assyrian Empire at its height. Ashurbanipal's reign was marked by significant cultural achievements, including the compilation of a vast library in Nineveh, which housed texts on magic, medicine, and divination, among other subjects. As we explore this pinnacle of Assyrian power, it becomes clear why this period is considered the apogee of their civilization. The blend of military conquest, administrative genius, and cultural flowering created a legacy that would influence the ancient world for centuries to come. And so, dear listeners, as we conclude our exploration of the Assyrian Empire's most glorious era, we must now turn our attention to the events that led to its decline. The seeds of downfall were sown in the very fabric of their success, as internal strife, external pressures, and the strain of maintaining a vast empire eventually took their toll. Join me next as we navigate the complex and often tumultuous story of Assyria's decline and explore the lasting legacy of this incredible civilization. Welcome back to our journey through the realms of ancient history, dear listeners. As we transition from the zenith of Assyrian power, we now find ourselves navigating the complex and often tumultuous story of Assyria's decline. The once mighty empire, which had stretched from the Mediterranean to the Persian Gulf, began to crumble under the weight of internal strife, external pressures, and the strain of maintaining a vast territory. One of the key factors that contributed to Assyria's downfall was the rise of the Median Empire to the east. The Medes, under the leadership of King Cyaxares, formed an alliance with the Babylonians, who had long been subjects of the Assyrians, but were growing increasingly restless. This coalition posed a significant threat to Assyrian dominance, and in 612 BCE, they launched a joint attack on Nineveh, the capital city of the Assyrian Empire. The siege of Nineveh was a brutal and devastating conflict that lasted for several months. Despite their valiant efforts, the Assyrians were ultimately unable to withstand the combined might of the Medes and Babylonians. In August 612 BCE, the walls of Nineveh were breached, and the city was sacked. King Sin-Sharishkun, who had ruled Assyria since 627 BCE, disappeared in the chaos, and his fate remains a mystery to this day. The fall of Nineveh marked the beginning of the end for the Assyrian Empire. The Babylonians, now under the leadership of King Nabopolassar, went on to conquer the remaining Assyrian strongholds, including Haran and Carchemish. The last remnants of Assyrian resistance were crushed in 609 BCE, when the Babylonians defeated the Egyptians, who had attempted to intervene on behalf of their former allies. As we reflect on the decline of the Assyrian Empire, it becomes clear that their downfall was not solely the result of external factors. Internal weaknesses, such as corruption, mismanagement, and a declining economy, had also taken their toll. The empire's vast territories had become increasingly difficult to maintain, and the strain on its resources had begun to show. Despite their decline, the Assyrians left behind a lasting legacy that would influence the ancient world for centuries to come. Their contributions to art, architecture, literature, and governance were unparalleled in their time. The Epic of Gilgamesh, which was compiled during the reign of King Ashurbanipal, remains one of the most iconic works of ancient Mesopotamian literature. As we conclude our exploration of Assyria's decline, we must also acknowledge the significant impact that their civilization had on the development of subsequent empires. The Babylonians, who inherited much of the Assyrian territory, went on to create their own distinct culture, which was heavily influenced by Assyrian traditions. The Persian Empire, which rose to power in the 6th century BCE, also borrowed heavily from Assyrian administrative and architectural practices. In the words of the ancient Greek historian Herodotus, the Assyrians were a great and powerful people who built a vast empire that lasted for many centuries. This statement encapsulates the enduring legacy of the Assyrian civilization, which continues to fascinate and inspire us to this day. As we bid farewell to the Assyrian Empire, we must remember that their story is a testament to the transience of power and the enduring impact of human creativity and ingenuity. And so, dear listeners, our journey through the realms of ancient history comes full circle. We have explored the rise and fall of one of the most fascinating civilizations in human history, and in doing so, we have gained a deeper understanding of the complexities and nuances that shape the course of human events. Join me next time as we embark on a new adventure, exploring the intricacies of another ancient culture and uncovering the secrets that lie hidden in the sands of time. That's all for today's History with Herodotus. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, remember that to understand the present, we must first understand the past.